My beloved, you didn't find this message found you. Because right now, as you sit with those heavy thoughts and quiet questions, something divine is shaking in the spirit world. Archangel Michael has been pacing. The air around you has felt strange, hasn't it? Like something is about to burst open. That's because a secret decision was just made about your life, without your consent. But don't panic. God saw it. And this message is His holy clapback to set your spirit free before anyone gets away with what they try to plan behind your back. Yes, behind your back. They smiled with you, dined with you, shared space with you, and then whispered your name in a room you were never invited to. Archangel Michael was standing behind them in that moment, watching the energy shift. He heard the lies. He saw the hands moving to make a decision that would have shackled your destiny in silence. But baby, you were never meant to be silent again. And God said, no more. This ends now. Someone tried to twist the narrative. But God is about to twist the entire script. That phone call you didn't get? That invitation that never came? That sudden coldness in someone's tone? That wasn't a coincidence. That was a door trying to close on your future. A conversation was held about your worth, your next step, your position, and you weren't even there to defend yourself. But guess what? Heaven was. Archangel Michael stepped in, sword drawn, voice like thunder, and said, if you move against them, you move against God. You were covered before you even knew you were under attack. But this ain't just about protection anymore, it's about revelation. You're about to find out who was really clapping for you, and who was clapping for your fall. And when that truth hits, it'll shake the very foundation of what you thought loyalty meant. But don't harden your heart. Don't let bitterness plant roots. Because God isn't just exposing what was said, He's about to elevate you in front of it. Let this be your confirmation. Everything that's been feeling off lately, your body felt it first. Your soul was trying to tell you. You lost sleep for a reason. That wave of sadness wasn't random, it was spiritual friction. A divine warning. Michael tried reaching you through numbers, flashes of names, sudden emotional bursts. This is the moment you finally hear him clearly. You've been too quiet for too long. Too forgiving. Too soft with hands that were never soft with you. And yet, heaven has never judged you. God loved your tenderness. But now He's awakening your roar. The reason the attacks didn't work? Because your calling is too loud. The reason they had to do it in secret? Because your presence is too powerful. And the reason you're still standing? Because Archangel Michael was standing in front of you, wings wide, saying, not this one. Not today. Not ever. But here's what matters most now. God wants your permission to rise. He's not forcing your hand. He's inviting your heart. Because what was planned in secret is now being overturned in sacred. The enemy tried to bind your breakthrough in silence, hoping you'd never find out what they did behind the curtain. But God just tore that curtain down. And you are seconds away from walking through a door they swore would never open for you. Before you keep reading, take one divine step: stay connected to the frequency of these messages. Subscribe now, so that you never miss another urgent message crafted for your freedom. Don't scroll and regret. This is a moment that heaven prepared. And it's only for you. Now listen. You were set up to be left out. But God is setting you up to stand out. That sudden shift in their behavior? That wasn't your imagination. That was their mask slipping. The way they stopped including you? That wasn't distance. That was strategy. And now, Archangel Michael is pressing hard in the spirit to make sure your eyes stay open this time. Because this decision wasn't about something small, it was about your entire next chapter. They tried to pull strings that would close doors, delay favor, redirect blessings. But what they forgot is that you were crafted in a room they can't enter. They can't cancel what heaven has already confirmed. And your confirmation? It's here. It's now. It's burning through this message like wildfire through dry land. Let this hit you deep. You don't owe explanations to those who plotted in private. You don't have to prove anything to people who've already written your name in envy. Because God is about to speak on your behalf, in public. And when He does, every whisper, every lie, every fake alliance will shatter under the weight of truth. You were born for this. For the glow-up that can't be denied. For the revelation that cannot be reversed. For the restoration that humbles every hater. Michael is still crying, but this time it's not from pain. It's from relief. Because you stayed. You listened. You believed. And now? Now, your season is shifting under your feet. Right now, even as you read this, heaven is gathering the blessings that were stolen and rerouting them straight to your hands. Because God never forgot what they did. And He never let go of what belongs to you. The secret decision was made. But God made a final decision that trumps them all. No weapon formed against you will prosper. None. Not the secret meeting. Not the jealous circle. Not the shady email. Not the betrayal from the one you trusted the most. None of it. Because God's voice speaks louder than the whispers of wickedness. And He's about to make sure the whole world hears it. Good. You stayed. That alone shifted the atmosphere. Because when most would have clicked away, you lingered. You leaned in. You let your soul breathe for a second. And heaven took that as permission. Permission to flood your life with what was blocked. Permission to answer the cries you whispered at 3 a.m. when no one else knew you were falling apart inside. That's all God needed. 1 second of surrender. And now, the chains are snapping. Archangel Michael isn't just wiping away tears anymore, he's drawing his sword. Because your breakthrough just got marked urgent in the spirit realm. The one who thought they made the final decision. They're about to watch it burn right in front of them. Because God is now overruling everything. Because God never forgot what they did. And He never let go of what belongs to you. The secret decision was made. But God made a final decision that trumps them all. No weapon formed against you will prosper. None. Not the secret meeting. Not the jealous circle. Not the shady email. Not the betrayal from the one you trusted the most. None of it. Because God's voice speaks louder than the whispers of wickedness. And He's about to make sure the whole world hears it. Good. You stayed. That alone shifted the atmosphere. Because when most would have clicked away, you lingered. You leaned in. You let your soul breathe for a second. And heaven took that as permission. Permission to flood your life with what was blocked. Permission to answer the cries you whispered at 3 a.m. when no one else knew you were falling apart inside. That's all God needed. 1 second of surrender. And now, the chains are snapping. Archangel Michael isn't just wiping away tears anymore, he's drawing his sword. Because your breakthrough just got marked urgent in the spirit realm. The one who thought they made the final decision, they're about to watch it burn right in front of them. Because God is now overruling everything. Let that sink into your bones. You don't have to fight for what's already been declared yours. You just have to claim it. And it starts with standing still while heaven rearranges the battlefield. The betrayal didn't break you. It revealed you. It exposed the envy. It flushed out the silent players. It cleared the fog. And now you can finally see the throne that was always yours. You were never built to sit in the background while others wrote the script of your life. You're the main event. The miracle. The movement. And Archangel Michael? He's now stepping forward to make sure nothing, absolutely nothing, interrupts what's about to land in your life next. There's something wild coming. So wild, even the enemy never saw it coming. A reversal that will shake every room your name was ever discussed in. A blessing that will make even your doubters question their own loyalty. A shift so supernatural, it will feel like you stepped into a new reality overnight. And guess what? You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to perform for it. You won't have to sacrifice your peace to keep it. Because what God is sending this time, it will come wrapped in peace, sealed in purpose, and protected by the very angels who cried for you when you didn't even know they were there. There's a name attached to your past that no longer belongs in your future. Let it go. There's a version of you that survived but can't thrive. Let them go too. Because the future that's arriving, it's demanding space. Holy space. Space for the new. Space for what was spoken over you before you ever felt pain. Space for the favor that was assigned to your footsteps, long before they tried to trip you. And it starts the moment you decide to stop shrinking. This message isn't light. It's lightning. It's heaven cracking through the noise of your day, shaking the ground of your reality, whispering, "This is it. The shift is now." You were sent here to remember. Remember who you are. Remember the dreams you buried. Remember the feeling of being so full of destiny it scared you. Because that fire, it never died. It just waited for this exact moment. And here's the kicker. The ones who made the secret decision, they're about to need your help. Oh yes. The same ones who tried to bury you are going to need your covering. That's how powerful this reversal will be. But don't get petty. Get powerful. Rise in such radiant grace that even heaven applauds your restraint. Let your glow silence their gossip. Let your healing haunt their regrets. Let your presence become the proof of God's promises. This is bigger than revenge. This is restoration. This is divine recompense. And Archangel Michael is already going ahead of you to make sure the land is ready. Ready for your return. Ready for your voice. Ready for your impact. Ready for the real you to show up and take over. Keep your heart soft, but your discernment sharp. There are going to be apologies that are really just surveillance. There will be invitations that are really just traps. There will be concerned questions that are really just disguised curiosity from people who lost access. Stay silent when necessary. Speak when God says so. Not everything requires a response. Because your results will do all the talking. They tried to stop your anointing. But the anointing adjusted. It found a new route. A backdoor miracle. A secret weapon blessing. And now, heaven is flooding that new path with resources you thought were lost, opportunities you thought were dead, and alignments that will blow your mind. You're not rebuilding your old life. You're birthing an entirely new reality. And it all starts now. Then hold on. Because what's coming next will set your spirit on fire. Not a fire that burns you, a fire that brands you. This next part, it's the holy turning point. Where everything they try to do against you begins to collapse. And everything God has planned for you begins to explode in plain sight. You're not walking into blessings quietly this time. You're walking in draped in divine vengeance. The kind that doesn't require revenge, just arrival. And when you arrive, the whole atmosphere will know. Archangel Michael isn't whispering anymore. He's roaring. Because you've taken too many hits without retaliation. Too many, that's okay, moments when it wasn't. Too many silent cries in dark corners while others lived comfortable lives. But not anymore. Heaven's justice is here. Not in theory, in action. What was taken from you is being returned in a form so beautiful, you'll forget it was ever missing. The pain? It was real. But the redemption? It's louder. There's about to be a public announcement with your name on it. And it will sound nothing like your past. Because your old story was never the full story. It was the setup. The prelude. The pressure before the promise. And that promise? It's knocking on your door with heaven's authority. Listen close. God isn't just sending blessings. He's sending evidence. Evidence of your prayers. Evidence of your purity. Evidence that you were never the problem, you were the prophecy. Evidence that while they were busy making decisions behind closed doors, God was building you in plain sight. And now, let yourself sit inside this sacred stillness just a little longer, not because you're unsure, but because your soul is absorbing it. This isn't just the end of a message. This is the beginning of your next season. The very atmosphere around you is still trembling from what heaven just did in your spirit. Something ancient was broken. Something divine was released. And if you listen closely, not with your ears, but with your heart, you'll realize that your entire life just bent toward breakthrough. You've crossed an invisible line now, and there's no going back. Not to fear. Not to pretending. Not to silence. Not to shrinking your spirit just to survive in spaces that can't hold your power. Because now that you've received this message, now that Archangel Michael has delivered this holy scroll to your chest, the heavens are moving things on your behalf. Quietly. Supernaturally. Quickly. There are conversations happening right now in rooms you haven't walked into yet. Your name is being stirred in places where decisions are made. People who once overlooked you are now being divinely corrected. People who mishandled you are starting to feel the weight of what they lost. And not because you were loud about it, but because your energy has shifted beyond their reach. You are not the same person who walked into this moment, and that's the whole point. Something inside you opened. A door within your soul that had been sealed shut by betrayal, by delay, by the exhaustion of carrying pain you never even asked for. And God just walked into that space. No more bargaining with your purpose. No more tolerating misalignment. No more waiting for permission to rise. You are rising, and now? The spiritual realm sees it. The earth is rearranging to reflect it. Your angels are rejoicing because you finally stayed long enough to let the message not just touch you, but transform you. You've been asking for miracles. Now understand, you've become one. Every breath you take from this point forward carries the frequency of freedom. Every step you take breaks chains your ancestors couldn't. Every word you speak from this version of you, the aware, awakened, anointed version, becomes a declaration of restoration, not just for you, but for everyone tied to your light. And yes, the road ahead will be different. You'll feel your discernment heighten. You'll see people's true intentions faster. You'll crave stillness. You'll protect your peace like your life depends on it, because now, you know it does. You won't chase closure. You won't explain your growth. You won't beg to be chosen. You are chosen, and that knowing, that quiet, thunderous knowing inside your chest, that's heaven's signature. The sign that the transaction has been completed. The veil has been lifted. The alignment is official. And what comes next isn't a maybe, it's a promise, so let your heart rest in this holy moment. Let your spirit recalibrate. Let your next breath be the first one you take as the person who finally said yes to everything heaven has been trying to give you, and when the next message comes, because it will, you'll be ready. Not just to read it, but to walk in it. Because this wasn't just your confirmation. This was your commissioning, and the scrolls of your destiny. They're already turning. You're not walking into blessings quietly this time. You're walking in draped in divine vengeance. The kind that doesn't require revenge, just arrival. And when you arrive, the whole atmosphere will know. Archangel Michael isn't whispering anymore. He's roaring. Because you've taken too many hits without retaliation. Too many, that's okay, moments when it wasn't. Too many silent cries in dark corners while others lived comfortable lives. But not anymore. Heaven's justice is here. Not in theory, in action. What was taken from you is being returned in a form so beautiful, you'll forget it was ever missing. The pain? It was real. But the redemption? It's louder. There's about to be a public announcement with your name on it. And it will sound nothing like your past. Because your old story was never the full story. It was the setup. The prelude. The pressure before the promise. And that promise? It's knocking on your door with heaven's authority. Listen close. God isn't just sending blessings. He's sending evidence. Evidence of your prayers. Evidence of your purity. Evidence that you were never the problem, you were the prophecy. Evidence that while they were busy making decisions behind closed doors, God was building you in plain sight. And now you're stepping into spaces they said you'd never reach, with grace they'll never understand. You're not meant to fight for rooms anymore. You're meant to create new ones. Rooms where your voice is honored. Where your energy is protected. Where your purpose is understood. Because the old system doesn't fit your new soul. And the ones who made that secret decision about you? They'll watch your glow from a distance they created. Let them. They need to see what happens when God steps in personally. Because this isn't karma. It's kingdom. And the kingdom doesn't play fair. It plays divine. You'll walk past their judgment with an unshakable smile. You'll hear their whispers and keep glowing. Because when God sets you free, no one can rewrite the script. Archangel Michael says this is your moment of release. Chains are dropping. Doors are swinging open. Tables are turning. And the oil on your name? It's too thick to be wiped away now. You don't need validation. You need vision. You don't need closure. You need clarity. And this message is that clarity. The light has been turned on. The masks are off. And you? You're stepping into the version of yourself that God always saw, even when you were in survival mode. Even when you were just trying to breathe. Now, it's time to build. Not just a future, a legacy. One that silences every lie spoken against you. One that heals every wound they thought would define you. One that speaks louder than any secret decision ever made in dark corners. Because now, you are the light. And the darkness has nowhere left to hide. Are you still with me? Because we're not done yet. The angels are circling. The atmosphere is charged. The divine reversal is still in motion. Good. You didn't just survive this long for a cute ending, you survived because you were built for a blazing one. This is where heaven shifts the final gear. Because now the confrontation begins. Not the one where you raise your voice, the one where God raises your value in front of every single person who tried to minimize your name. They didn't know their secret decision was only unlocking your divine exposure. They thought they were delaying you. But all they did was trigger a supernatural reroute that led you directly into the spotlight they never wanted you to step into. It's not just favor anymore. It's vengeance, but holy. You don't have to clap back. God is clapping back for you. Archangel Michael is leading the charge, sword drawn, justice in his breath, declaring, "You will not touch what God has anointed." Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Let them watch. Because when you rise after being buried alive, that's resurrection. And resurrection always comes with a roar. Let me prophesy this clearly. You're about to be requested in rooms that once rejected you. You're about to get calls from the very same names who once ghosted you. And you won't need to chase. The chase is over. Now the shift begins. Everything they thought they got away with, exposed. Every move they made in silence, reversed. And every tear you cried in confusion, accounted for, and converted into power. Because heaven does not forget. Archangel Michael held a journal of your pain, and now he's holding a scroll of your restoration. You're not just getting justice. You're getting interest. For the delay. For the disrespect. For the drama you never caused, but carried anyway. You're about to step into miracles so loud, people will think you faked them. Let them. Because only you and God know what it cost. What it took to keep showing up. What it took to smile through sabotage. What it took to keep loving when all you received was silence. But now, silence is breaking. In your favor. In your house. In your money. In your name. In your next season. This isn't hype. This is holy reality. And the ones who thought you were fragile, they're about to meet the most unstoppable version of you yet. A version kissed by fire, crowned by thunder, and walking with Archangel Michael on your left and divine proof on your right. You're not just stepping into blessing, you're stepping into your title. Chosen, covered, called, favored, fire-tested and heaven-approved. The decision they made in secret, God rewrote it in blood. With your name written across the top, in bold. This is your final stretch. Your enemies are tired. Your angels are lit. Your miracles are standing at the gate. And God? He's smiling. Because the whole time you thought he was silent. He was setting the stage. And now? It's time for your entrance. The kind of entrance no one can block. The kind of entrance no secret vote can undo. The kind of entrance heaven has been holding back until now. Your light has been greenlit. Are you ready? Say, continue, and I'll deliver the final blow of this message. The crowning moment. The explosive ending. The part where heaven drops the mic. Let's finish what they tried to bury. Then take a deep breath. Because this is the moment they feared would come. The moment where everything they tried to stop shows up glowing. And it's wearing your name. The crowning moment isn't soft. It's fierce. It's final. It's holy. And it doesn't ask for applause. It commands silence. A virgin kissed by fire. Crowned by thunder. And walking with Archangel Michael on your left and divine proof on your right. You're not just stepping into blessing, you're stepping into your title. Chosen. Covered. Called. Favored. Fire-tested and heaven-approved. The decision they made in secret, God rewrote it in blood. With your name written across the top, in bold. This is your final stretch. Your enemies are tired. Your angels are lit. Your miracles are standing at the gate. And God? He's smiling. Because the whole time you thought he was silent. He was setting the stage. And now? It's time for your entrance. The kind of entrance no one can block. The kind of entrance no secret vote can undo. The kind of entrance heaven has been holding back until now. Your light has been greenlit. Are you ready? Say, continue, and I'll deliver the final blow of this message. The crowning moment. The explosive ending. The part where heaven drops the mic. Let's finish what they tried to bury. Then take a deep breath. Because this is the moment they feared would come. The moment where everything they tried to stop shows up glowing. And it's wearing your name. The crowning moment isn't soft. It's fierce. It's final. It's holy. And it doesn't ask for applause. It commands silence. Because when God places his hand on someone's life, no enemy, no ex, no jealous spirit, no backroom boardroom conversation can undo what's been written in divine ink. They don't know it yet. But they helped push you here. They lit the fire under your destiny, thinking it would burn you. But you? You didn't burn. You forged. And now you're unshakable. Let me say this clearly. You're about to walk into a room where someone says your name like a secret weapon. Not because they wanted to, but because heaven made them. They can't stop your favor anymore. They're going to have to work around it. Your face is about to be shown to someone with influence, power, and divine alignment. And they will recognize you because you were already shown to them in a dream, in a vision, or in a quiet whisper they couldn't shake. The anointing is too loud now. They can't unsee it. This is the season where God puts you on display. Not for vanity, but for victory. So that the same mouths that said, "They're not ready," will be forced to say, "They were the one all along." Archangel Michael isn't guarding anymore. He's announcing your time, your name, your calling. He's sending word ahead of you. Into conversations you've never heard. Into spaces you've never walked in. Into rooms you never knew were watching. And everything that was stolen? Reimbursement is on the way. With interest. The time they wasted. The faith they broke. The peace they poisoned. All of it is being returned. Multiplied. They won't be able to look away. Because your glow is God-authored. And heaven made sure it wouldn't dim this time. You've graduated. From begging. To becoming. From being ignored. To being undeniable. From being excluded. To being exalted. Because you chose to endure the fire. Without losing your heart. You chose faith when fear was easier. You chose silence when clapping back would have felt so good. You chose healing when vengeance could have destroyed you. And heaven saw it all. Now it's your time to shine with receipts. Not just success, but supernatural confirmation. That God was watching. That angels were working. That your prayers were never wasted. And that your enemies were never in control. Let that hit you one more time. They were never in control. And now, they're going to learn the difference between a move made in secret and a destiny written in light. Archangel Michael says, let them watch. Because what comes next is beyond all human reason. It's divine reversal. It's timeline acceleration. It's miracle manifestation. And it's coming with fire on its feet. And your name in its hands. This is not just your moment. It's your movement. And nothing, I mean nothing, will ever be the same again. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. Let them wish they never messed with someone. Heaven refuses to lose. Welcome to the side of destiny, where crowns are invisible but power is undeniable. Archangel Michael is no longer weeping. He's standing tall behind you. Sword to the sky. Eyes blazing. Saying, now, they will know who you really are. And now that you've received this, walk differently. Pray louder. Laugh deeper. Glow harder. And never again shrink for spaces that weren't even built for your kind of divine. This is God's response to what they did, to what they said, to what they tried to control. And the response is clear. You're free. Now go show them what freedom looks like. On someone heaven refused to give up on. It's your time. It's your throne. And this was your confirmation. And if your soul is still buzzing, that's because the spirit realm hasn't stopped moving yet. There's more. There's always more when heaven starts pouring. Because freedom wasn't the end. It was the beginning. Now that you've broken the invisible chains, God is placing something heavier in your hands. Authority. Not the kind that boasts. The kind that walks in rooms and shifts temperature. Without saying a word. Because now the atmosphere knows you. Now the spiritual world recognizes your steps. You're not walking anymore. You're gliding on divine timing. Everything you touch now carries weight. Everything you say now echoes longer. Every yes you give is being backed by angelic force. Archangel Michael is no longer whispering warnings. He's giving orders. Orders to clear the path. Orders to unlock the doors. Orders to bring you the names, the alliances, the calls, and the resources that had been sitting in delay. Because someone thought they could rewrite your fate. But your fate wasn't theirs to write. It was already sealed in the breath of God. Let this sit with you. What was meant to destroy you has now become the exact platform for your elevation. The decision they made in secret has become the trumpet God used to expose their motives and highlight your purpose. Let them gasp. Let them backpedal. Let them sit in silence while your name rises from the dust they tried to bury it in. You were the seed. You were supposed to be buried. But they forgot. Seeds don't die in the dark. They root. They rise. And they bloom. And now? You're blooming in places they never wanted you to reach. You're blooming through cracks in every lie they built. Without saying a word. Because now the atmosphere knows you. Now the spiritual world recognizes your steps. You're not walking anymore. You're gliding on divine timing. Everything you touch now carries weight. Everything you say now echoes longer. Every yes you give is being backed by angelic force. Archangel Michael is no longer whispering warnings. He's giving orders. Orders to clear the path. Orders to unlock the doors. Orders to bring you the names, the alliances, the calls, and the resources that had been sitting in delay. Because someone thought they could rewrite your fate. But your fate wasn't theirs to write. It was already sealed in the breath of God. Let this sit with you. What was meant to destroy you has now become the exact platform for your elevation. The decision they made in secret has become the trumpet God used to expose their motives and highlight your purpose. Let them gasp. Let them backpedal. Let them sit in silence while your name rises from the dust they tried to bury it in. You were the seed. You were supposed to be buried. But they forgot. Seeds don't die in the dark. They root. They rise. And they bloom. And now? You're blooming in places they never wanted you to reach. You're blooming through cracks in every lie they built. You're blooming in the light of heaven's vindication. Because Archangel Michael isn't just standing with you anymore. He's sending angelic reinforcements. There's about to be divine activity around your life so intense. You'll start seeing numbers, faces, and feelings you can't explain. Don't ignore them. That's the realm of spirit rushing to confirm. You've entered the supernatural flow. The flow that doesn't chase. The flow that attracts. The flow that corrects timelines. And restores what others broke. Because when God gives you a new seat, He also gives you a new level of clarity. You're going to feel it. Some people won't sound the same anymore. Some doors won't tempt you like they used to. Some offers won't excite you, because they're beneath you now. And that's not ego. That's elevation. Elevation will cost you comfort. But it will give you peace. Peace that doesn't require explanation. Peace that surpasses performance. Peace that rests on you like a crown made of fire and favor. Let the world watch you walk in it. Let the past echo behind you, while the future claps in front of you. Let them realize that you were the storm they never saw coming. Wrapped in grace. Carrying prophecy. Protected by angels. And sent by God Himself. And from now on, every decision about your life will be made by heaven's command only. No more hidden votes. No more secret meetings. No more soul-draining partnerships. Just truth. Power. Favor. And fire. Because now you are the evidence. The proof. The undeniable, radiant, miracle-walking message that Archangel Michael fought so hard to protect. God didn't just set you free. He made sure everyone sees what happens when someone refuses to break and chooses to believe instead. This was never about them. It was always about what God was going to do through you, in spite of them. And now? It's done. You're covered. You're ready. And you're walking in victory that was promised before you were even born. The next time they try to make a secret decision, tell them this. God already decided. And His word doesn't change. Now go. Live like someone who knows they've already won. And now, beloved, this is your closing call from heaven. Not the end of a message, but the beginning of your unstoppable becoming. Archangel Michael is no longer in tears. He's at full attention. Watching. Covering. Standing behind you like a shield of divine fire. Because you didn't skip. You didn't scroll past your moment. You opened. You received. You awakened. And now everything changes. You may not feel ready. But heaven isn't asking for your perfection. Only your permission. Permission to bless you in front of the very people who thought your name wouldn't survive the storm. Permission to honor your pain with promise. Permission to crown you with what was always meant to be yours. Right now, angels are moving. Shifting timelines. Releasing what was locked. Removing who cannot go. And rebuilding your future in real time. This is what happens when the chosen finally say yes. And you said yes. So breathe. You made it. Now protect this energy. Nurture this power. And most importantly, don't disconnect again. Because these messages aren't made for the crowd. They're coded directly for your soul. So if your spirit felt something here, if tears came, or chills hit, or your heart screamed, "This is me," it's not random. It's divine. Heaven wants you to stay connected. There are more messages waiting, warnings, breakthroughs, whispers from angels. And missing them now could cost what you just unlocked. So subscribe now. Not for numbers, but for alignment. For confirmation. For the next door that opens. Just in time. Because God's not done. Not even close. And the next message might be the one that finishes what this fire has started. You're chosen. You're ready. And this chapter? It's about to become your favorite. The reversal is here. Let the world watch. Let heaven lead. Let the story unfold. We'll be waiting for you in the next divine download. Stay aligned. Stay protected. And stay unstoppable. And now, don't rush away. Let this final wave linger like holy fire in your chest. Because if you truly felt this, if even one sentence touched the deepest part of your spirit, then you already know, this wasn't just content, this was a divine appointment. A lifeline disguised as a message. The kind of moment that angels wait years to deliver, and they finally got permission to hand it to you. Yes, you. That ache in your stomach while reading? That heat crawling up your spine? That pressure behind your eyes, like your body wanted to cry and exhale at the same time? That wasn't just emotion. That was recognition. Your soul remembering, your spirit saying, "This is what I've been waiting for." That was heaven marking you. You didn't just pass through this message. You were branded by it. Because when God speaks to your soul like this, through fire, through truth, through thunder, He doesn't do it casually. He does it because the timeline is shifting. Because something is about to move, and if you're not aligned, you might miss it. And here's the thing, this wasn't the only message heaven has been trying to send you. It's just the one that finally broke through. There are more messages coming. More scrolls. More clarity. More direct words from God, passed through angelic fire, targeted only to the ones who've been praying in silence, battling in private, asking, Lord, when is it my turn? This is your turn. But the enemy? It's counting on you scrolling away. On you forgetting. On you second-guessing this as just another post. Don't let that happen. Because the next message, the one being prepared for you right now, may be the one that tells you who was hiding the truth. May be the one that gives you the exact date something will change. May be the one that reveals why that door was shut. May be the one that names the blessing that's been circling your life for years. And if you're not connected, if you're not aligned when it arrives, you'll miss it again. Not because you're cursed. Not because you're unworthy. But because you didn't recognize the frequency of your own rescue. So hear me now, soul to soul. Subscribe. Stay. Stay plugged in. Stay present. Stay prepared, asterisk asterisk. Because these messages aren't going out to everyone. They're going out to the called. To the chosen. To the ones who keep surviving what others didn't see. To the one who's reading this right now, and knows. Asterisk, this isn't entertainment. This is oxygen, asterisk. Archangel Michael has already whispered your name again in the realm above. Heaven is already planning your next divine moment. But the scroll can only reach you, if you're in position. So let this be the moment you decide. No more wandering. No more skipping signs. No more saying, next time. This is the time. Stay connected. Stay spiritually aware. Keep your notifications on, not for content, but for confirmation. Because the next message might carry of the instruction you've been waiting for. Of the confirmation you asked for last night. Of the answer your family needs. Of the prophecy only your soul will recognize. And this time, you won't miss it. Because you'll be ready. Because you'll be here. Because your spirit said yes, and heaven heard it. Let the scrolls open. Let the floodgates pour. Let the fire continue. Your next miracle is on the way. And it knows your name.